There are things happening in the world right now that have absolutely fuck all to do with the people of Ireland, and they're being made to feel like it's their responsibility and that they should fix it and that they should stand up and give what they have. And I think that that's shifting.
What's being done to the Irish right now with this globalist human trafficking and the flooding of our country with people who don't come from here? And remember, it's always the politicians, not the people. Never blame the people. We are an indigenous people, and what's being done to us is being exactly what was done to the Native Americans and exactly what was done to the Aborigines in Australia. We are being disenfranchised by our so-called government. The present Irish government want to exterminate the Irish.
Oh, Ireland, the land of 1,000 welcomes, and 1,000,000 goodbyes to our own. It's not that we have anything against people coming into our country or breaking bread with people. Yes, we have travelled the world. We love other cultures and we love living in different countries ourselves. But come on, there has to be some kind of border control and management of the amount of people that can come in. We have this crazy government. It's like open door, uncapped numbers, keep them coming, keep it coming, keep them coming. And coming in with no documents sometimes. So, we have to come back to common sense. We have to come back to having some kind of border control, protecting our own, making sure our own come first.
I was so grateful to the basic decency of the Irish people who could have made me feel like the odd man out, who could have made me feel uncomfortable, but they didn't. They did the opposite and they embraced me. And that made me forever grateful to Ireland and to the Irish people. And that's one of the reasons, in fact, it's probably the main reason that I speak out at all, is because I grew up in a time when Irish people believed that they had a fair chance in their own country. And I think that's been eroded now by the politics that we're witnessing. And I hate to see people who are being treated unfairly then being further treated unfairly by being shut down, by being called racist or right-wing, when in fact all they are is concerned. And they have a right to be concerned.
After 2020 and the COVID hoax began, there was just a whole load of people who just said, no, that's bollocks. They just said, oh, COVID and masks and jabs, go fuck off. So if you just said, no, this is bullshit, go away, they'd lost. And after that, I just said, oh, well, I'm never going to listen to anything that those fuckers come out with again. The mainstream media in Ireland are coming round to realising that they angered and upset and offended and alienated a lot of people for a long time. And they've realised that they've got to start changing their act quite quickly.
Media is really, it's over. It's really over, and it's impossible to imagine how it could ever be resuscitated, how you would ever restore any kind of ethicality to the existing model of media. Therefore, it must be stood down if there's to be a future at all in freedom and democracy. All of the journalists now practicing should be banned from ever writing or speaking in public again. That's a given. We need to install real journalists again. It is important that severe penalties be handed out to people who have done these things, not for any vindictive reason, but because the signal has to be sent out there that you can't get away with this, that human society will not allow you to destroy it in this way. This can never be repeated, that those who have done these things can never, ever again be treated as normal people in our societies. They are to be regarded as criminals until they die and afterwards.
It's humiliating, and people showing a piece of paper to have a cup of coffee. Would you get the fuck out of here? If I did that, I'd be taking a long look in the mirror and ask myself, who am I? And I'd look into history, and then I'd ask myself again, what have I done, and would I do it again? Because it's wrong. Where's the integrity? Where's the honour in that? When your neighbours, your friends, your relatives, they can't.
People are crying out for this story to be told through song. I think we've been kind of let down in that respect greatly by a lot of our, shall we say, established artists. Artistic licence is vital. They're the social commentators of the age. If they're only permitted to speak official narrative, then the powers that be can basically do what they want. There's nobody to keep them in check.
For God's sake, don't give in, because the revolution might be tomorrow morning and you're going to be left out of it then because you've just surrendered.